The sun rose slowly over the green fields, painting the village with soft golden light. Arun, a thin boy of 17, walked barefoot along the narrow mud path that led to the river. He carried an old rope on his shoulder and a small axe in his hand. Like every morning, he was going to cut some dry branches for firewood. The village was quiet at this hour. Only the sound of birds and the rustle of leaves broke the silence. Arun liked this time of day. It was peaceful, and he could think about his dreams. He wished to study more, to see the big cities, but his family was poor. His father worked as a farmer, and Arun had to help in every way he could. When he reached the riverbank, he noticed something strange. There were footprints on the soft sand, not the usual large ones of fishermen, but small ones, like those of a girl. Arun frowned. It was rare to see outsiders near this lonely part of the river. He followed the prints for a few steps when suddenly a sharp cry pierced the calm air. "Help! Somebody, please help!" Arun dropped his axe and ran toward the sound. His heart beat fast as he pushed through tall grass. Then he saw her. A girl about his age was sinking into a patch of quicksand near the bend of the river. Her hands flailed in panic. Her hair was long and tied back, but her clothes were dusty, showing she had struggled for some time. "Don't move too much," Arun shouted. "Stay still." "I can't," she cried, her voice shaking. "I'm sinking." Arun knew quicksand was dangerous. If someone struggled hard, they sank faster. He looked around quickly. There was no one else nearby. If he didn't act fast, she would be gone. He tied his rope to a thick branch and threw the other end toward her. "Catch this," he shouted. The girl stretched her trembling hand and grabbed it. Arun dug his heels into the ground and pulled with all his strength. The rope cut into his palms, but he didn't stop. Inch by inch, she rose out of the pit, mud clinging to her legs. "Hold tight," Arun said through gritted teeth. With one final pull, she tumbled forward onto the grass, breathing hard. Her face was pale, her eyes wide with fear. Arun dropped to his knees, sweating but relieved. "Are you hurt?" he asked. She shook her head. "No. I think I'm fine." Her voice was soft, almost shy. Arun noticed her clothes were not like those of village girls. The fabric looked expensive, though now it was covered in dirt. Her sandals lay stuck in the quicksand behind her. "You shouldn't walk here alone," Arun said. "This part of the river is dangerous." "I didn't know," she whispered, looking down. "Thank you, you saved my life." Arun smiled faintly. Anyone would have done the same. She looked at him strangely, as if surprised by his simple answer. Then she quickly stood up and brushed the mud from her dress. "I should go," she said hurriedly. "Wait," Arun said. "Where will you go?" "The road is far from here. Let me walk you back." She hesitated, glancing at the forest edge as though afraid someone might see her. "No. I'll manage. You've done enough already." Arun didn't press her. He could see she wanted to leave. But as she walked away, limping slightly without her sandals, he felt curious. Who was this girl? Why was she here alone, dressed like that? When she reached the main dirt path, she turned once to look at him. For a moment, their eyes met. Then she hurried away without another word. Arun stood there, holding his rope, wondering if he would ever see her again. That night, as he sat with his family eating a simple meal of rice and lentils, he couldn't stop thinking about her frightened face. His younger sister asked why his palms were red, but he just smiled and said he had worked too hard chopping wood. He lay awake long after everyone had fallen asleep. The moonlight streamed through the small window of their mud house. Who was that girl? Why had she come to this lonely part of the river? And why did she look as if she was hiding something? Arun didn't know that this meeting was only the beginning of something far bigger than he could imagine. 2 days passed after the river incident, but Arun could not forget the unknown girl. He had no name for her, only the memory of her frightened eyes and hurried steps. He wondered if she had reached home safely. On the third morning, while Arun worked in the fields helping his father plant seeds, he noticed someone walking along the path near the crops. It was the same girl. Her dress was cleaner this time, her hair neatly tied, but she carried herself as if she didn't want to be noticed. Arun wiped the sweat from his forehead. "You again," he called out, half surprised and half amused. The girl stopped, looking a bit nervous, then smiled slightly. "I wanted to thank you properly," she said. "That day I ran off so quickly. I didn't even tell you my name." "I'm Nisha." "I'm Arun," he replied. "But you really should stay away from that part of the river." Nisha laughed softly. "I will. I just wanted to see the village. It's so quiet here, so different from the city." Arun frowned. "You came from the city? It's far. Why would you come all this way just to walk near the river?" She avoided his eyes. "I like peaceful places. The city is noisy. Too many people, too much traffic." Arun shrugged. He didn't understand why a city girl would wander alone in a village, but he didn't ask more. "Come," he said, "I'll show you the fields. Just watch your step, no quicksand here." As they walked between the rows of young plants, Nisha looked around with bright eyes. "It's beautiful," she whispered. "The air smells clean. And everyone waves when they see you." "They wave because they know me," Arun said with a grin. "In the village, everyone knows everyone. If someone is in trouble, all come to help." Nisha nodded, as if that thought touched her. In the city, she was used to strangers passing by without even looking at her. When they reached a shaded tree at the edge of the field, Arun offered her some water from his metal flask. She drank and smiled. "You work very hard," she said. "I have to," Arun replied simply. "My father and I plant crops. If they grow well, we earn enough for food. If not, we just work harder next season." Nisha looked at him thoughtfully. His hands were rough, his shirt patched in several places, yet he spoke with no complaint. She wondered how he could be so calm when life was clearly not easy. Just then, Arun's friend Mohan appeared, carrying a bundle of grass for his goats. He raised an eyebrow when he saw Nisha. "Arun," Mohan teased, "who is this? You never told us you had a guest." Arun glared at him. "This is Nisha. I helped her near the river the other day." Mohan grinned mischievously. "Ah, now I understand why you've been staring at the road since morning." Nisha laughed lightly, though her cheeks turned pink. Arun shook his head. "Ignore him," he muttered. "He talks too much." After Mohan left, Nisha sat under the tree while Arun finished tying the ropes around some wooden posts. She watched him work, impressed by his steady focus. "Arun," she asked softly, "have you ever been to the city?" "No," he said. "I've only seen it in pictures. Tall buildings, bright lights. But I don't think it's for me." "Why not?" "Too expensive," Arun replied. "And too far from home. My family needs me here." Nisha felt a sudden heaviness in her chest. In her world, everything was about money, luxury, and high walls to keep people out. In Arun's world, it was about helping, sharing, and staying close to family. As the sun began to sink, Nisha stood up. "I should go," she said. "Do you want me to walk with you?" Arun offered. She shook her head quickly. "No, I'll be fine. I'll come again tomorrow, if that's okay." Arun hesitated, then nodded. "All right. But you really should tell someone where you're going. It's not safe to walk alone." Nisha smiled but didn't answer. She walked down the dirt path, her shadow stretching long behind her. Arun watched until she disappeared around the bend. That night, in her large house far away from the village, Nisha quietly entered through the side gate so no one would see her. Her phone kept ringing, her father's personal assistant checking on her. But she didn't pick up. Sitting by her window, Nisha thought of Arun's simple words, his hard-working hands, his honest eyes. He treated her like any other person, not knowing who she really was. And she didn't want to tell him. Not yet. In the village, Arun also sat awake, staring at the moon. He wondered why a city girl like Nisha would come back again. He didn't know that her secret would soon bring trouble and change his life forever. The next few days, Nisha came to the village almost every afternoon. Sometimes she walked by the fields, sometimes by the small pond near the banyan tree, and sometimes she sat on the riverbank with Arun, talking about simple things. Arun told her stories about the village, about the summer fairs, the games children played, and how the elders sat under the peepal tree sharing old tales. Nisha listened with quiet joy, as if this peaceful world was something rare and precious. But not everyone failed to notice her visits. In the tea shop near the main road, villagers began to whisper. Mohan's uncle said he had seen a well-dressed girl walking with Arun. Someone else said she looked like she came from a rich family. Others simply laughed and joked that Arun had found a secret friend. One evening, as Arun carried a bundle of firewood home, Mohan walked beside him. "Arun," Mohan teased, "your city friend is becoming quite popular. People are talking." Arun frowned. "There's nothing to talk about. I just helped her. She comes to see the village, that's all." Mohan grinned. "If you say so. But she's not like us. You can see it in her clothes, her shoes, even her way of speaking. Why does she come here so often?" Arun didn't answer. He had asked Nisha the same question many times, but she always avoided it. She spoke about the fields, the fresh air, and how happy she felt here, but never explained why she came alone. The next afternoon, Arun waited under the banyan tree. When Nisha arrived, her face looked pale, and she kept glancing over her shoulder as if afraid someone was following her. "Are you all right?" Arun asked. "Yes," she said quickly, forcing a smile. I'm a little tired. That's all." Her phone rang in her hand, a sleek black device unlike any Arun had ever seen. She looked at the screen, then pressed a button to silence it. "Why don't you answer?" Arun asked. "It's nothing important," Nisha said, slipping the phone into her bag. "Let's walk by the river. I want to see that place again where you helped me." Arun led the way. The late afternoon light reflected off the water, making it sparkle. They sat on the grass, and for a while they were silent, listening to the rustle of leaves and the distant call of birds. "Arun," Nisha said softly after a while, "if someone has a big secret, do you think they should tell it?" Arun looked at her, puzzled. "If it's something that hurts others, yes. If it's just something personal, maybe they can wait until the right time." Nisha nodded slowly but didn't explain further. She plucked at the grass with nervous fingers. Just then, two boys from the village passed by on the far path. They saw Arun sitting with Nisha and whispered to each other, pointing. Arun noticed but pretended not to care. Nisha looked uncomfortable. "Do people always stare here?" she asked. "In a small village, everyone notices everything," Arun replied with a shrug. "They're curious, that's all. But what if they ask questions?" Arun smiled faintly. "Then we answer. Or we don't. It's not a big problem." But to Nisha, it was. She knew that if anyone from her world discovered where she was going, it would be more than just curiosity. Her father would be furious. He never let her wander anywhere alone, let alone visit a poor village. When evening came, Nisha stood up suddenly. I have to go, she said. I'll come tomorrow. Wait, Arun said. Nisha, what's wrong? You seem worried these days. Did someone say something to you? She shook her head quickly. No, no. It's nothing. I'll tell you someday. I promise. Before Arun could stop her, she hurried down the path toward the road. That night, Arun sat outside his house under the starlit sky. His younger sister brought him some water and asked, "Bye, who is that girl? Everyone is talking." Arun sighed. She's just a friend. But she's hiding something. Then ask her, his sister said simply. If she's your friend, she'll tell you. Arun smiled at her innocence. But he knew it wasn't that easy. Nisha's eyes carried a secret something heavy, something that made her afraid. Far away, in a big mansion with shining floors and tall gates, Nisha sat at her desk while her father's assistant scolded her on the phone. You can't keep disappearing, Nisha, the man said. Your father will notice. He's already asking questions. I just went for a walk, Nisha said quickly. Please don't tell him. But deep inside, she knew she couldn't hide forever. One day Arun would ask again. One day she would have to tell him who she really was, the only daughter of one of the richest men in the city. And she feared what would happen when he found out. The sun was still low when Arun walked to the village well to draw water. A strange sound caught his ear, the low rumble of a car engine on the dusty road. Very few cars ever came this deep into the village. When Arun reached the fields, Mohan ran to him, wide-eyed. Arun. You won't believe it, Mohan said. A big black car came from the city. The driver was asking people if they had seen a girl. A girl? Arun asked sharply. Yes, Mohan said. He showed a photo. I didn't see it clearly, but I think it was your friend. Arun's heart sank. Why would someone come searching for Nisha? He looked around, but she was nowhere to be seen. Later that afternoon, as Arun walked by the banyan tree, Nisha appeared from the narrow path. But today she wasn't smiling. Her face was pale, her eyes restless. Arun, she said quickly, I have to tell you something. Arun crossed his arms. I already know something is wrong. A car came here this morning. People are looking for you. Why are you hiding? Nisha looked down, biting her lip. For a moment she said nothing. Then she took a deep breath. I didn't tell you because I was afraid. I'm not just some ordinary girl who came to see the village. My father is one of the richest men in the city. Arun stared at her, shocked but silent. I'm his only child, Nisha continued, her voice low. He doesn't let me go anywhere alone. There are guards, drivers, people watching me all the time. I just wanted a place where no one told me what to do. When you saved me, you didn't ask questions, you didn't treat me differently. That's why I kept coming back. Arun felt a strange heaviness. So everything you said, was it real? Or just a game for you? Nisha's eyes widened. No. It wasn't a game. I swear. I just wanted to feel free for once. I wanted to talk to someone who didn't care about money or power. Arun, please believe me. But Arun's thoughts were clouded. He remembered the whispers in the tea shop, the villagers pointing. He felt foolish for trusting her so easily. You should go back to your world, Nisha, Arun said quietly. People like you and people like me, we live in different worlds. That's not true, Nisha said, her voice trembling. I came here because I like being with you. I like the village, the fields, the way you speak from your heart. Please don't push me away just because of who my father is. But Arun stepped back. It's better if you don't come here anymore. Your people are searching for you. If they see you with me, they'll think I'm after your money. Nisha looked as if she had been struck. You really think I would believe that about you? Arun didn't answer. He turned and walked down the path without looking back. That evening, the luxury car returned. Nisha's family driver found her near the old road and insisted she go home. She didn't resist. She just sat quietly in the back seat, staring out the window as the field slipped away. In the village, people kept talking. Some said the city girl must have been someone important. Others laughed and teased Arun, but he didn't respond. He worked in silence, helping his father repair a fence and carrying water to the animals. But inside, his heart was heavy. That night, Arun sat alone outside his house. The stars shone bright, but he barely noticed them. He thought of Nisha's words, how she liked the village, how she liked being with him. But he also thought of the car, the driver asking questions, and the wall between her world and his. Far away, in a mansion lit with golden lights, Nisha faced her father. He was angry but more worried than anything else. Where have you been going? He demanded. Why are you wandering into villages? Do you know how dangerous that is? I'm fine, Papa, Nisha said softly. I just wanted to breathe for a while. You will stay home from now on, her father said firmly. No more wandering. I'll have guards with you at all times. Nisha lowered her eyes, but in her heart, she refused to let go of the little world she had found by the river and the boy who treated her like an equal. As she lay awake in her grand room, Nisha whispered to herself, I'll go back. No matter what he says. I have to see Arun again. And somewhere under the same sky, Arun whispered to himself, forget her. She belongs to a different life. Neither of them knew that their worlds were about to collide again in a way neither expected. 2 days passed, and Arun worked without pause. He carried bundles of grass, helped his father repair the roof, and fetched water from the well. But no matter how hard he worked, his mind kept going back to Nisha, her worried face, her soft voice, and the truth she had revealed. He told himself to forget her. She belonged to another world, a world of shining cars, big houses, and guards at every gate. But forgetting her was not so simple. The village sky darkened that evening. Thick clouds gathered, and a strong wind swept through the fields. People hurried to bring their animals inside. Arun tied the doors of the cowshed and covered the grain bags with plastic sheets. Looks like a heavy storm, his father said. We must stay alert tonight. By nightfall, rain poured in sheets. The small stream near the village swelled into a rushing flow. Trees bent in the wind, and thunder rolled across the sky. Arun and his family worked for hours to keep the water from flooding their home. In the city, Nisha stood at her window, staring at the rain. Her father was away at a business meeting, and the house felt empty despite its many rooms. She thought of the village, of the small mud houses that might not stand against such a storm. She thought of Arun working with his family, probably soaked to the bone. The next morning, when the storm finally ended, Arun saw the damage. The fields were partly flooded, young plants washed away, and the mud path to the market had deep cracks. Villagers gathered to help one another. Without waiting, Arun joined them. He lifted broken branches, repaired fences, and guided an old woman across the slippery road. Though tired, he didn't complain. By afternoon, as Arun rested near the banyan tree, he saw a figure coming down the path. His heart skipped. It was Nisha, wearing a simple salwar suit, her hair covered with a scarf. What are you doing here? Arun asked, surprised. I told you not to come. I had to, Nisha said, catching her breath. I wanted to see if you were safe. I heard about the storm. Arun shook his head. You shouldn't be here. If someone sees you, they'll tell your family. I don't care, Nisha said firmly. You were helping me before. Now I want to help you. What can I do for the village? Arun looked at her, confused. You. Help us. Yes, Nisha said. Tell me what you need. I can bring money, food, medicine. Arun raised his hand. Stop. We don't need your money. We'll manage on our own. Nisha's eyes softened. It's not about money. I just want to do something good. Please let me help. Arun hesitated. He could see she was sincere. Fine, he said at last. But if you really want to help, do it quietly. No one must know who you are. For the next few hours, Nisha helped in small ways. She carried water for the women, fetched tools for the men repairing the roof of the school, and comforted the children who were scared by the thunder. She worked like any village girl, with no pride or distance. Arun watched silently. For the first time, he believed she truly cared, not as a rich girl trying to show kindness, but as a friend who wanted to share their burden. When evening came, Nisha and Arun walked toward the river. The sky was clear now, and the setting sun painted the water gold. Arun, Nisha said softly, I don't want to stop coming here. I don't care what people think or what my father says. This place, it feels real. You feel real. Arun looked away, unsure how to answer. You'll only get into trouble, he said. Your family won't understand. Let me worry about them, Nisha replied. Promise me you won't push me away again. Arun didn't reply, but his silence was not anger, it was fear. Fear that their two worlds would clash. Fear that she would be hurt because of him. As they parted ways, neither noticed a man watching from behind the trees, the same driver who had come searching for Nisha earlier. He stepped back quietly, pulling out his phone to make a call. That night, as Arun lay on his mat, tired from the long day, he thought about Nisha's words. Somewhere in the big city, she was probably lying awake too, thinking about the village boy who didn't ask for her wealth or her name. Both felt the same storm inside, a storm of questions, fears, and feelings they couldn't yet explain. The evening sky was painted in soft orange as the sun dipped behind the hills. Birds were returning to their nests, and the village streets were filled with the smell of food being cooked. Arav walked home with slow steps. His thoughts were heavy, not because of the work in the fields, but because of Asha. She had been acting strangely all day. In the morning, she had tried to say something important, but every time she opened her mouth, she changed the topic. Arav felt she was hiding something, but he didn't want to force her. He respected her silence. Later that night, Asha sat near the window of the small room where she stayed in the village. She looked at the clear sky full of stars. Her heart beat fast as she thought about the truth she had hidden for so long. She whispered to herself, I have to tell him. He deserves to know. But, will he see me differently? The next day, Arav came to meet Asha early. He brought some fresh fruits from his farm. She smiled and thanked him, but her eyes were restless. Arav noticed it right away. Is something wrong? He asked softly. Asha hesitated. Arav, can we walk near the river? They walked in silence for some time. The sound of flowing water filled the air. Finally, Asha stopped and took a deep breath. Arav, she said, her voice trembling, there's something I must tell you. I should have told you long ago. Arav looked at her, surprised but calm. What is it, Asha? She closed her eyes for a moment, then opened them with courage. I am not who you think I am. I am the only daughter of Arjun Mehta. Arav frowned slightly, trying to remember the name. Arjun Mehta. He owns Mehta Industries, one of the biggest companies in the country, she explained, her voice low. I am his only child. The words hung in the air like a heavy cloud. Arav stood still, staring at her. For a moment, he didn't know what to say. You mean, he finally spoke, you're a billionaire's daughter. Asha nodded nervously. Yes. But I didn't tell you because I wanted you to see me as just Asha. Not as someone with wealth, not as someone above you. Arav looked down at the ground. His heart was racing, but not with anger, more with confusion. He remembered the day he pulled her out of the quicksand. He remembered her laughter, her kindness, her willingness to learn about village life. She had never acted proud or distant. I saved you because you were in danger, Arav said slowly. Not because of who you are. But, why are you here in this village, Asha? What are you really looking for? Asha's eyes filled with tears. I was tired of being treated like a trophy. People only saw my father's money, not me. I came here to breathe, to live like a normal person. And then I met you, someone so real, so honest. You treated me like a person, not a rich girl. Arav's face softened. He could feel her pain. But deep inside, he wondered, could their friendship, or maybe more than friendship, survive such a truth? Suddenly, a sound of footsteps broke the silence. Two black cars stopped on the dirt road nearby. Several men in suits stepped out. Asha, a stern voice called. Asha turned pale. It was her father's assistant, Rajiv. Your father is worried sick, Rajiv said sharply. We've been searching everywhere. You must come with us now. Arav looked at Asha, then at the men. What's going on? He asked. Asha whispered, they've found me. I don't want to go back like this. Not yet. But Rajiv stepped forward firmly. Miss Mehta, you cannot stay here any longer. Your father is waiting. Arav stood protectively near Asha. She doesn't want to leave right now. Can't you see that? Rajiv frowned. This is family business. Stay out of it. The tension grew heavy. Asha looked at Arav with pleading eyes. Please trust me, she said softly. I will explain everything later. Just, let me handle this. Before Arav could reply, Rajiv and the men guided Asha toward the car. She glanced back one last time, her eyes full of fear and sorrow. Arav clenched his fists as the cars drove away. Dust rose in the air, blurring his vision. He felt a strange emptiness inside. Who exactly is she? Arav whispered to himself. And what am I to her? Back in the car, Asha looked out of the window as the village disappeared behind her. Her heart ached. She wanted to shout, to run back, but she knew this was just the beginning of something bigger, something that might change both their lives forever. The city looked different to Arav now. He had never been here before, and the tall buildings, shiny cars, and crowded streets made him feel small. But he did not come to see the city. He came to see Asha. The black car rolled slowly into the driveway of Mehta Industries mansion. Guards in crisp uniforms stood at attention. Arav's heart pounded as he approached. He had no idea what her father would say or think. Inside the mansion, Asha waited. Her father, Mr. Arjun Mehta, stood with a serious expression. Rajiv, the assistant, watched silently. Arav. Asha whispered as she spotted him. He nodded. I came to see you. I had to. Mr. Mehta turned sharply. And who is this boy? Arav bowed respectfully. Sir, my name is Arav. I live in the village near the river. I know your daughter, sir. I helped her when she was in danger. Mr. Mehta studied him carefully. His eyes were sharp, but not unkind. And why did you allow her to wander into the village? I didn't, Arav said honestly. But she came. I only wanted to make sure she was safe. Nothing more. Asha stepped closer. Papa, Arav saved my life once. And then, he just treated me like a normal person. Not rich, not important. Just, real. That's why I trusted him. Her father's expression softened slightly. He looked at Arav and then at his daughter. He could see the honesty in both their eyes. "You value honesty, Arav?" Mr. Mehta asked. "Yes, sir," Arav replied. "I may not have much, but I always try to do what is right." Ash's father nodded slowly. "Then I can see why my daughter likes you. You are brave, kind, and honest. Not many people are like that these days." Arav felt a wave of relief. He had feared anger, punishment, or even rejection. But instead, Mr. Mehta spoke with respect. "Papa," Asha said softly, "I want to go back to the village. I want to help the people there. They need us. Arav showed me that." Mr. Mehta raised an eyebrow. "You want to go back to a poor village, by choice?" "Yes," Asha said firmly. "I want to learn, help, and live simply sometimes. That's where I felt real, and happy." Her father studied her for a long moment, then slowly nodded. "Very well. You may go. But take precautions. Do not wander alone. Guards will accompany you if necessary. And Arav, you are welcome to visit. But remember, responsibility comes with such freedom." Arav nodded, understanding the meaning. "Thank you, sir. I promise I will respect that." The tension lifted. Asha smiled at Arav, her eyes sparkling with gratitude and joy. "See? Things can work out if you are honest and brave," she whispered. Over the next few weeks, Asha returned to the village often, with her father's permission and quiet support. She brought medicine, books, and seeds for the villagers. But she never let the gifts make anyone treat her differently. She worked alongside Arav, repairing fences, planting crops, and helping the children study. Arun. Arav felt proud to see her laughing freely, her hands dirty like any village girl's, her heart genuinely happy. And each evening, they walked together by the riverbank, talking about dreams, the stars, and simple joys. One evening, as the sun set behind the hills, Asha took Arav's hand. "You know," she said softly, "when I first met you, I thought this world was too small for me. Now I know it's big enough for both of us. You've taught me the value of life, kindness, and courage." Arav smiled, holding her hand tightly. "And you've taught me that even in a world of wealth and power, hearts like yours can remain humble and true. I will always stand by you." They sat in silence for a while, listening to the gentle flow of the river and the soft chirping of birds. The village behind them and the city ahead did not matter. All that mattered was the trust, friendship, and love they had found in each other. Mr. Mehta, watching from the distance that evening, felt a quiet pride. He realized that wealth and power were nothing without honesty, courage, and kindness, qualities Arav had in abundance. He knew his daughter's heart was safe, and perhaps even happier than he had imagined. As the first stars appeared in the sky, Arav and Asha stood together, looking at the horizon. The river sparkled under the moonlight, and the village was calm and peaceful. "This is a new beginning," Arav said. "Yes," Asha replied, smiling. "A new dawn, for both of us." And for the first time in their lives, both felt truly at home, not in riches, not in fame, but in honesty, courage, and the simple beauty of life shared together. The wind whispered softly, carrying the promise of tomorrow.